PDI Enterprise Wholesale Suite includes Degree Day, which provides the ability to estimate tank levels and generate an order when the tank level reaches the recommended delivery level based on daily temperature input and equipment configuration. Let's start by looking at ways to generate an order. Customers can generate an order through the customer portal, or it can be manually entered through Enterprise, or it can be set up as a recurring auto order. And lastly, it can be ordered by Degree Day Order Advisor for Keep Full customers. Now let's look at the specifics for configuring Degree Day. Degree Day configuration works in collaboration with Order Advisor to determine when orders need to be generated based on tank and Degree Day information for customers who request Keep Full status. When configuring Degree Day, administrators can define the default order status and if manual override will be allowed. Degree Day configuration includes the ability to specify the criteria for how order recommendations will be calculated. Is the tank considered full based on actual size or rated size? How the K-factor is calculated based on the number of days to include in the calculation, tolerance limits, and exclusion options. And determine urgency based on days to empty and days to reserve level as urgent, somewhat urgent, and least urgent. Degree Day requires customers to have a defined region to allow the Degree Day capability to apply weather data and routine information. The Degree Day historical weather information can be imported or manually entered. Historical Degree Day data can be pulled from degreeday.net. Remember, a degree day is the number of degrees that a day's average temperature is below 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius for a specific region. This is a standard measurement that Enterprise is not calculating. Knowing that the past weather does not always predict future weather, PDI Degree Day allows administrators to manually enter projected weather changes to ensure the calculations align with the reality of the environment. Once we have Degree Day enabled at the system level, we need to apply this capability to the customer for their location and equipment. PDI Enterprise is evolving from a Windows platform to a web interface, and while there is still some movement between the two flavors, crosslinks have now been added to the Windows platform to make jumping between the two more seamless. Let's start with the equipment at the customer location. For Degree Day to function, each piece of customer equipment must have defined the type of fuel allowed in the tank and the default product if more than one fuel type is allowed. We can also specify warehouse products and non-inventory products, such as rent on the tank. A great feature is the ability to move the tank to a different location or different customer without losing historical information on tank usage or attributes. A new Degree Day tab allows the administrator to define not only the actual size of the tank, but also the rated and reserve size percentages to be used to generate advise orders. The reserve size determines at what level the customer would like to trigger a refuel order. There is also the capability to exclude this piece of equipment from the Degree Day advising based on a specific date to accommodate unique customer demands. Let's pause for a moment and look at a valuable feature implemented in this release called Effective Date. When a will call customer requests to be switched to Keep Full, the historical will call data can be used to calculate the K-factor until the system has reached the required number of orders to auto-calculate the K-factor. The effective date for when a customer moves to Degree Day starts the clock to determine when the K-factor will begin auto-calculating. The administrator sets the beginning K-factor that is used until the system has enough deliveries to auto-calculate. A list of all previous orders will display on the user screen for complete insight into what orders have been processed for this piece of equipment. The last thing to note on setting up the customer is the ability to define the J-factor field, which allows the administrator to record how a home is consuming fuel that is not used to produce heat per day. A home's J-factor represents the number of gallons of fuel burned per day not related to heating the home, such as a water heater or gas stove. Order Advisor takes tank and Degree Day information along with other data points to calculate recommended orders for customers who request Keep Full status. Order Advisor configuration allows the admin to define how many days of historical data to include in the calculation and how many days to forecast. For example, if the admin defines prior days as 10, the system will look at the previous 10 days of degree day data to estimate potential orders for the Keep Full customers for the next 30 days. Once the parameters are entered and filters defined, a list of recommended orders to be generated will appear with details about the order, such as available credit, region, equipment product, route, reserve data, etc. Those in good standing without any warnings will be checked and ready to generate with a single click by the administrator to schedule the order in Order Desk and release to dispatch. The last thing to look at is the customer portal. As customers desire a more self-service model to all commodities, they want the same capability for their home heat options. The customer portal gives PDI customers the ability to offer that self-service option to their customers, where individuals can log into their account and see pending orders, as well as place manual orders as needed.